Well, hello, ladies. This is the Women's Leadership Council of the C-Suite Network. Wow, we're so glad you're here in person, watching the replay. We're just so grateful for you. And today's topic is so timely. It's all about scaling your success and putting some plans in place that will not only inspire you, but also motivate you and give you peace of mind, give you whatever you need to make sure that 2022 is, I'd like to say really your best year ever in your business, in your career, in your life, because guess what? It's possible to do that. So we're just going ahead and we're letting some other folks come in the room. We're so excited. So Tina, you're here. Kimberly's jumping on. Ladies are jumping on. We have a busy week today, don't we? And busy next week. So we're welcoming everyone into our room. Yeah, thank you. And, I always like to start off and just would love to have you thinking, I love little props. Just wondering what it is that you are grateful for in this moment. What are you grateful for? Yeah, what are you grateful for? I am grateful for bright futures, the possibility and opportunity for bright futures. I feel calmer already, just talking about bright futures. Yeah, Kimberly, welcome. We're all coming in.
Oh,
big kisses to you.
you too.
Big kisses. Yeah. So starting off our session, we're going to have a really valuable action-packed session. Ladies are coming in. We'll let them into our Women's Leadership Council Activation Masterclass today. So just curious, if you feel inclined, what are you grateful for in this moment? What's on your heart? What's on your mind? What can you be appreciative and grateful for? If you'd like to share, that's great. Yeah, jump in. Yeah, if you'd like to share, we'd love to hear. And Tina as well. Yeah.
I'm grateful for the conversation I just had with my dad, sitting out drinking my coffee this morning.
So sweet. Oh, love it. Yeah.
And coming up with the idea that I think I don't know, just a possibility, maybe for Christmas every year, I'll give everyone in my family some sort of a family vacation that we could have together. And,
Nice. Beautiful.
I was just thinking through the last, like how happy he was in the last several years of his life. And, it just said, live, it was just like, live your, like live happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice. So glad you're here. And what a sacred opportunity we have to spend with you and with Tina and the ladies that are coming in, and also your papa, your dad, and all of, we bring all of our relations into this.
I got my feather shirt on today.
Oh, cute. That's right.
He sends me feathers.
Love that. Love that.
Look at all the feathers he sent me.
Yeah, and you've shared that you've been finding feathers all. Yeah, there you go. Oh,
crazy.
Yes. My heart's happy. Thank you for that.
Place.
Nice. Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. Nice. Our and other ladies are coming in. Our activation masterclass would not be the same had you not shared that. Thank you. Thank you. Tina, popping over to you.
Yeah,
We'd love to know what you're grateful for in this moment.
Grateful for friendship.
Mm-hmm.
I've missed my friends from New York, since I've moved out here. I've missed everybody, COVID, and you guys have been my lifeline, really. So I remember, Kathleen, you said, if it weren't for C-Suite, we would be doing COVID alone.
Yeah, for sure. Wouldn't we? Yes.
And,
yes.
So you've been an integral part of me feeling connected. So I'm grateful for you and for this group. And so nice to see you, Kimberly. Yeah.
You too.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
I know. I keep thinking I'm almost done and then I'm not quite there. Now I think December 31st is my date I'm shooting for. It's funny, I got down to the hard stuff and it's taking a long time and it's like, so yeah, kind of funny. But the end is in sight.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Thank you, Tina. That is so wise of you to say that. And I think also bringing up part of the theme for today is looking at the future and being able to say, what is it? What's kind of the end game? So I'm thinking, and I like to think of things in a year at a time, I'm not one of these gals that's like, my 10-year plan is this and my 10, it's like, hey, let me chunk it down to in the next year. I can manage a year. I think I can manage a year. I'm sure I can manage a year. So, so just some thoughts about what would we like the year from now? And then, if scaling, growing, how can we work less and have more and enjoy more? That's really the theme for today. So let's just jump in. How's that? Yeah, we're going to be very efficient with our time here today. Lots of excellent thought-provoking content, I promise you, and things that we can activate. And of course, high interactivity always. Okay. So, you know who I am. So delightful to be here. I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of the C-Suite Network Women's Leadership Council. And I love bringing communities together. I love bringing smart, talented women, especially creating communities. I love it. And I'm so grateful to be part of the C-Suite Network and to be part of your networks, ladies, your communities. So thank you for that gift. And thank you for the gift of your time today. So we've got a very simple agenda. We're welcoming each of you and, leaving today with just a quick recap of our last session, bringing you up to date, in a speed fashion about what we discussed. We had an amazing session, the last one. It seems like everyone is so good. And Kimberly, you've been a speaker. We're so grateful. And on the first call of every month, I go back at least 4 months and acknowledge and appreciate each of you. So Kimberly, you've been appreciated for many months and will continue. And of course, Tina, we appreciate so much you, and I'll get to that in a second, because you and Annalie Dreesen and Joan Sotkin led our Wise Women Words of Wisdom session. It was awesome.
That was an amazing
wasn't
episode.
Was that good?
Yes,
oh my
very
gosh.
Fun. Very
nice.
fun.
Nice. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So just starting with, we've got some values that we're putting forth. We align with C-Suite Network, relevancy, reach, reciprocity, respect. And we always come together with a we first kind of mindset, and through that, then me, I, and my life prospers. So the same with all of us. We're a unique group. And as I was mentioning, the Wow Words of Wisdom session. Wow, that was fantastic. I just was speaking with someone yesterday, and they said that particular, the activation masterclass, the words of wisdom from each of you hit them right in their hearts in such a nice way. So we thank you. Tina, anything else that you'd like to say as, what's kind of been bubbling up for you since that session?
Just the appreciation of being with all of you and sharing this stuff again. I think the work comes through us. It's not just me. I don't know where it comes from. You ask a question and then something gets triggered and out come these words. So I just love the process. I love the questions. I love the spontaneity of it. So yeah, and the opportunity to share it.
Thank you. Yeah, it was capturing magic in a bottle every time. So, and the same with you, Kimberly, your sessions, think big and get bigger. When we were talking about being big, being our best self, and who are we when we're being big? Wow. That was fantastic too. And all the replays, we've got links to all of those on LinkedIn, and C-Suite is working with us now to have more of a platform and a portal. So we're going to be able to store more of these great sessions and share with the world, of course. Okay. So thank you very much. And, just a quick recap of our last session. We were engaging in a conversation about, we know the world has changed, and, now more than ever, there is so much uncertainty, unrest, I think also, people are many times they're living in fear, but then maybe this little bit of hope. And we can, as powerful women, as women that are on a path for transformation, healing the planet, being light workers, we have an opportunity to step forward. So part of it is I love supporting the light workers, the healers, the people in our world, the way showers. And you are certainly those ladies there. And of course, we reiterated from the last session that, like Napoleon Hill, every adversity contains the seeds of equivalent opportunity. So where are the opportunities? And then we reiterated, we had a beautiful exercise that was so profound about really declaring the truth about you, that you are strong, you're smart, you are resilient. And this past year has demonstrated it. So I'm just curious, maybe to pause, what could you declare for yourself and for the world about how you've been strong, how you've been smart, or you've been resilient in this past year? Love to get your voice in here as a declaration.
I forget the past year. I just want to think of the past week. And like the "you are resilient" is really hitting me. I went to bed at 9:30 last night and got a really good night's sleep because it feels like I'm back out at events almost every night and like live events and stuff. And I'm doing something insanely tedious for my dad that I thought was just going to take like a very little short period of time. And I've literally worked from like Sunday, 9:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. at night, like not even getting up from my desk, and it's still not done. So the resilient piece, I finally got out and had my recharge in the backyard this morning with my coffee and a good night's sleep, and just remembering that we are resilient, right?
Yeah, beautiful. And Kimberly, we can see that in you for sure. The light around you is very bright, very bright. Your smile, and thank you for bringing that to our call today. Thank you. Thank you. Tina, how about you? Declaration for you about your strength, about your wisdom, about your resiliency, whatever words speak to you.
Well, resilient is always a favorite of mine. I always think of the toy, that has the weight on the bottom, and then pops up every time you hit it, it pops up again. I was in another call this week and people were talking about bamboo, and how the roots are so strong. And then bamboo also is the most, flexible of the plants, that it bends with the wind. And so all these sort of metaphors, and I think of it actually even physically, of just like,
yes,
okay, grab that stomach and get your spine nice and tall, and here we go again. And that's it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. What a great metaphor of the bamboo tree and its growth pattern. And also I have a couple willow trees outside, and, love having the willow trees, and, that just to be able to easy and go with the flow is so important.
And there's another piece too, in terms of the energy that we put into something. So the bamboo, it takes a long time for it to sprout.
Yes.
So the part that we can't see, and all the energy that we put into something, and that's unmanifest.
Right.
And then I'm thinking of the Kabbalah, which is the Jewish mystical path. And there's a concept, it's called makifim and paninim. So the makif are the little sparkles that are flashes of creativity or flashes of this. And we think that it's never going to come together. And then at some point, the energy just kind of, gets strong enough. It becomes paninim, it becomes manifest. And so I'm glad you just reminded me of that, because it's an important thing to remember sometimes.
Absolutely brilliant. And ladies, we just created a whole bunch of content here for the world to enjoy from us, right? Yeah, very nice. Thank you for that, Tina. I did not know that. So that's really excellent. Great. So reminding ourselves, of these important things and these affirmations in, we're talking about growing and scaling and success. I believe it always comes back to getting grounded, coming home into our bodies, and being able to know. For me, one of my constant affirmations is take a deep breath and I affirm, I've got this. I've got support. I have a purpose and I have a mission and I've got this. So no matter what, whatever it is, small steps will take me there. So yeah, so all of these things. So thank you for that. Yeah. And I think many people have forgotten the truth about themselves. And so I believe by us affirming our truth, not in a bragging kind of way, you brought that up so beautifully, Kimberly, during your session, is just the authenticity of what is the truth for us. And we can reflect that to others. So thank you. And then we did just a recap again, the last session is what could we then look back on the last year and actually celebrate ourselves? And we did a really beautiful exercise about celebrating I am this. I did this, ... I accomplished this. And how I rose to the occasion, affirming that. So are there one of these, ladies, that really stands out for you just in the context of a year ago, gosh, in 2021 or in the past calendar year from November of last year until now? Something that you'd like to claim for yourself, that you did this, I am this, I accomplished this, and I rose to the occasion.
The I rose to the occasion is really resonating with me again. I mean, my whole year's been my dad, so I'm sorry I keep going back to that, but
Sorry, it's here.
Yeah. Yeah.
When my brother decided to contest the trust, spoke to 4 different financial advisors and 4 different attorneys, and I, it was just it was a straw that broke the camel's back for me, right? But the huge gift in it was that I sent myself to Miraval for 4 days.
Right. That's right.
So again, and it was life-changing. And, again, when I take care of myself, right? Like that's where I found out about the feathers, right?
Yeah.
And it allowed me to rise to the occasion. It allowed me, and really what I needed to do was reset another boundary with him. And, and it just,
Yes.
I did. And then it worked out. Like it was over within a month. He came to his senses. So kind of fascinating, right? But I didn't let it ruffle my feathers for the whole month. It did for a week.
Sure, of course. Yeah. Yeah. So it sounds as though, Kimberly, your certainty helped to influence his certainty in perhaps a new outcome.
Yeah, that and him talking to 4 attorneys saying that I was right, and the fact that I was making a distribution and he wasn't going to get his until he did what he needed to do, which he didn't want me to, which he was disagreeing with me on. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. My certainty around his alcoholism, though, is, I don't know. I think it's starting to get him to consider rehab again. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Blessings. Wow. In the spectrum of things that can happen, right? Yeah. Opportunities. Yep. Tina, how about you? Are there one of these things that really, resonate with you?
I guess I don't celebrate myself enough or very much because I just do. It's like I do rise to the occasion.
Yes.
I do accomplish things. I did things. It's kind of got a fun. It reminds me of when I had cancer and somebody, oh, are you a cancer survivor? No, I just did what I needed to do in order to deal with it. There's no accolades here. I never. So in a way, that's kind of, I don't know. My son and daughter-in-law are getting ready to have a baby in December, and they're about 5
First
minutes.
grandchild?
This is my second grandchild, but the first one that's close by.
All right.
So I'm extremely excited, and I will need to rise to the occasion because I'm going to cook, and I told her not to get. They don't have a ton of money and don't pay for that extra help if you don't really need it. And so I feel like at that point, I'm really going to have to, but it's okay because I want to do it. So anyway,
Yeah,
it,
beautiful.
yeah, I just do.
That's it. And you know what? That's such a beautiful lead into, next is, talking about this freedom lifestyle, this freedom schedule, and having more of the things that are important to us. But having part of today is thinking about how can we be more efficient? How can we be more effective, and putting our focus on the things that are the most efficient, effective, profitable, if that's the goal, so we can have working, laboring less, certainly suffering less,
Yeah,
and more results. Yeah, very nice. Good. Thank you, Tina, for that great share as well. Yeah. And then just,
Can I just add one thing to that? It's so
please.
funny.
Oh yeah, please go ahead. Jump in.
So, my coach that I worked with at KPMG when I, first got promoted into that national position, and then helped me see and helped me change careers, and
Yes.
I've worked with for 15 years now, crazy, on sort of a maintenance schedule, just once a month. He's kind of shifted his practice to looking at, this third chapter of life and what's next, and, really intentionally designing that and dreaming about it and everything else. And just with, with what's gone on with my, my life this past year, it's caused me to pause and reflect a little bit. So I've actually engaged him to go through his process. And it was just what you were just talking about, right? So it's really had me thinking about, okay, if I get really deliberate and intentional. So my husband's 75, and, both of us are still working full time, and so, yeah, it was like, he had me wanting to dream, and I'm like, well, I don't know how to dream, It's like I was really struggling with it, but I'm starting to play with different things, so yeah, kind of funny.
yeah.
Totally
And
ties in.
love it. And Tina, you can relate, right? And
Absolutely.
I can relate. And you're enjoying the replay. We welcome you, and we invite you to also think about this for yourself. And, I firmly believe planning on a foundation of strength. And, the focus for us, I wrote a column a little while ago called WTF. It's not really what you think, it's really what's the focus. And, we did an exercise during our session 2 weeks ago about really looking at, the typical coaching model is start, stop, continue. Well, I flipped it on its head to say, what do you want to continue that's already working? So, I would, I've got a little workbook I'll be sending out to everyone as a follow-up, just to go through this and think about what's already working for you. And then what is it that you would like to stop? And what can you start doing that perhaps you would like to take on, but not adding more to an already full plate? So thinking about what could be taken off the plate. So we did a really nice exercise in this, and this is really the truth of starting with all of the things that are working already. And then finally here, we're thinking about, and had a great conversation last time, and we'll continue it today, is where do we want our business, our careers, our, our professional life? Because many women are watching this that are in careers, and they have a profession and a career within corporate or nonprofits, or they're thinking of moving to becoming entrepreneurs. They're already intrapreneurs. So thinking about what is it that we want more of in this next year, what we want less of. And I really highly encourage with the work, but do this kind of work to really think of the analysis for you. And then we went into last time considering that having a diversified portfolio of things in our business, but 32 flavors, might be a little bit too much for us. So, thinking about what are the things that we're currently doing now that we enjoy. And like Baskin Robbins, I love Baskin Robbins, and I know Ocean Robbins, the grandson of the founder, they're not just doing one thing, they're doing things that also provide a lot of profitability, taking their existing flavors, so to speak, And for each of you, what are your existing flavors of the work that you're doing? You know, coaching, maybe some group coaching, maybe thinking about, hey, adding in a new flavor of the Yule log roll, which is high value, very special, very, very unique, of maybe some VIP one-on-one sessions with folks, maybe a VIP day, which could include the spa experience. Kimberly, that was quite profound, you know? So food for thought. And then we went into last time the Ikigai beautiful model, this beautiful model of what are we good at? What is it that we can get compensated for? What the world needs, what you love to do. And then this intersection in the middle of all of these together, the sweet spot. Because we know it's changed in the past year. You know, I loved doing live events. And then for the past year and a half, not many live events been going on. Now we're kind of creeping back a little bit, but you know, if that was my sole business, that would have been very difficult. So thinking about this really nice model, and so many women have printed this out, put it by the side of their desk and looked at it as, you know, what is that intersection here for me? Okay.
So funny,
So-
I've never heard that word before. And I
You've
was at a
not.
session where we're mentoring students at UCI, and the speaker that we had talked about that word I'd never heard before. And
Before
that's
Kat-
amazing.
You
Yeah.
haven't either? Oh yeah. Oh, isn't it something you haven't? Ah, yeah. It's a
Japanese.
yeah, Japanese, and a very interesting, you know, concept. And I don't know that it really translates literally, but you know, I think I view it as the sweet spot of what we could be, should be, and can be doing professionally.
I think it's actually what Tina, you talked about at the very beginning, because the way she described it was like these little sparks all over the place that just come together. And so that's so funny that, you know,
Yeah. No, it's
So
Yeah.
we'll translate it again. How's that? Yes, yes. Yeah. And so I think, you know, as coaches, consultants, advisors, we have a profound opportunity to not only guide our clients to this, but also to guide ourselves. And that's part of today, is to be thinking about this sweet spot, but thinking about the tactics of, you know, I believe firmly in having a portfolio approach. You know, as investors, we're not just investing in one stock, we're investing in a variety of things. So if one area is not performing as well, you know, say for instance, the speaking, you know, this past, you know, 18 months, live speaking, not so prevalent, but certainly we're pivoting over to webinars and Zoom calls and things of this nature where we physically don't have to get on a plane for everything. So, you know, this is a portfolio approach, and I'm just curious as I pause, and there's a part number 2 here as well. What would you say on this? Are you doing all of these types of aspects of your business? There are 7 different things. Would you say of the 7 right now, are you incorporating all 7
No.
to some degree?
I'm still doing too much individual, not
Mm-hmm.
enough group.
Ah, yeah, exactly. Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
A minimum amount of speaking, love to do more.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of training. I like the training speaking combination.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, this is a great thing. The mastermind is a whole other piece that we were talking about yesterday, and I have some decisions to make, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah. What about you, Kimberly?
Yeah.
I think I'm doing everything on there except consulting.
Ah.
I actually have 3 live speaking things coming up in the next few weeks. I just did a training yesterday. I'm doing my one. right when I had a little capacity, like one of my clients sent me 3 new people to coach one-on-one, and they're giving me 3 more in the beginning of the year. And, I have a 2-day retreat I'm doing in Vegas, and my group coaching, my Back in the Game program is going on. I'd say my mastermind group is really my Be Inspired and Grow. It's my group for all former clients
Mm-hmm.
to come together.
Yes.
And, so the events and retreats, I definitely do that. And I was just actually thinking about, we used to hold these, when my boot camp was free, we would hold these live quarterly reunions. And we haven't been bringing those people together. And I feel like, there's a need there. And my old partner loves doing it all virtually. So I'm like, I've been thinking about holding a gratitude event in December, inviting everybody and having it be an all-star event, not the old boot camp event. So yeah, I'm really doing all of it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, and we're going to have some sessions in the upcoming quarter about hybrid and how to really do a live event as well as then incorporating Zoom. So doing the 2 of those. And, I'll just put a little pause in here that with C-Suite Network, we are now in the planning stages of doing a multi-day C-Suite Network Women's Leadership Council Summit. So each of you as esteemed faculty, if you'd like to be, you can be breakout room hosts, and really doing this with a lot of lead time and a lot of advance notice. And we're talking tomorrow at noon about themes. We're going to be doing it during International Women's Day and International Women's Week. So that'll be March 6th, I believe, March 6th, 7th, 8th. Yep. So we'll be sending out invites on that. Yeah. So part of this.
Did I see something with C-Suite in general that was a live event coming up?
Yes. In January.
That's in January?
Yes.
A thought council.
Yes, exactly. Yep. Yeah. So part number 2, is another, like in the portfolio of solutions, here's some other things that really add to the revenue opportunities and the opportunities for impact. So membership programs like an Evergreen, sponsorships, products, programs, workbooks, joint venture alliances and partnerships. So we don't have to do it all by ourselves. We're going to be focusing a lot on that in the new year. Courses, programs that are paid, podcasts, TV, media, just some other things to be thinking about. And, the key as we go forward is, we can acquire new clients. Of course, we can always do that. The lifeblood of our business from one perspective. And number 2, we can quote unquote sell more things, more services, more products to our existing clients and add more value to them. And then of course, 3, cross promote alliances, co-events, which we're going to start doing more and more of, to other people's warm markets and expanding the pie. So in my perspective, there are 3 different things. And of course, acquiring new clients on our own is time consuming and it can be expensive. So in your planning process for the next year, be thinking about, which of these is really resonating with you. And, I'll jump on to our next slide because we can start to focus in on, with all of the options that are possible for you, I believe in a point A and a point B approach. So thinking about your business, your company, your organization right now, thinking about where are you now? We did it just a couple slides ago. Here's an inventory. Here's what I'm doing now. Here's what I'd like to add. Here's the things that are working. Here's some things I'd like to improve. And to think about, and we're not going to do a whole lot of sharing now, but just thinking maybe in your notebook or on your computer is, where's your business now? And doing the analysis about what did it generate in the way of revenue, income, profits in the past year? Because we've got to have a baseline, right? Yep. And this will be in your workbook, which will be sent out to you. So doing the evaluation of where is your business now and that inventory, and what are the numbers? What do the numbers look like? Because planning and scaling and growing on top of guesswork is not so good, right? Yeah.
I have a friend who her goal is to be the first woman billionaire in Arizona.
Love
And
it.
she will
Love
do
it.
I will guarantee you she would do it. And so her favorite saying is do the numbers and the numbers will tell you what to do.
Tina, perfect. Because that's where we're going next. Yeah. So that baseline analysis and, diving into of those portfolio things, all the things that you're doing right now is what's really currently your mix of your products, your service, your programs, the things that you're doing now. And like, what are the top 4 things? If you're doing more, that's really a good analysis too, is looking at everything, just doing an inventory. Here are all the things that I'm doing. And what am I charging? What's the investment level? And how many sales or engagements or contracts or, how many of each of these have I gotten? Okay. So what have you been doing this year? What have been the revenue, income, profit results? And then number 3 is getting it into an analysis of here's the top 4, the top 6. I know for me, I was like literally into 8 different things, which in itself tells the story. Too much diversification, leads to lack of focus. Yeah. And as we're talking about growing and scaling, so number 1, doing that analysis, and we're not going to do that now, but we may have like a special session here in the near future, next couple of weeks to do that type of work and to be thinking about, tactics for the plan for next year. But this for me is going for a freedom business model. My goals are I want to work anywhere with the people that I want to work with, in the time frames that I want to work, in the way that I want to work, and how I want to work, using my strengths, my gifts, my talents. And I want to do it my way in this next year, which I'm defining what that means. I mean, that means maybe, Monday mornings, I take off the most of Monday for some planning and thinking. And then Fridays, I like to take part of Friday off for some planning and thinking. Less work on the weekends, but the bookends of my Monday morning and my Fridays. So for the 2 of you, can you see what would be your optimum freedom kind of schedule?
For all the years that I just did therapy before I made this great attempt to scale, I worked 20 hours a week, 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I had Monday and Friday off. I raised my kids. I made a nice living. And then I knew that if I didn't scale my business, I could never retire. And then I've been on this odyssey, for 6 years. Well, actually much longer than 6 years. It's really been 12 years. And I still haven't nailed it in the way that I know a lot more. I learned a lot more. I lost a lot of money more.
Yes, sure.
And, oh my God, what a journey. And so I play tennis on Friday mornings. It's sacred, except that once a month when we have C-suite.
Yes.
So Friday mornings, Saturday mornings. I would definitely love to work less. 3.5 days a week, 4 days a week. 4 days a week is fine. But I've got a lot on my plate and a lot that I'm trying to accomplish in the next year or 2.
Yes.
2 max. And getting more efficient, getting better help, just let go of 2 people. So right now my son is helping me for the next 2 months to ground again.
Yes.
Wonderful content marketer. So I'm pivoting again.
Yes.
Yes. So it's this constant pruning, it seems like.
Yes.
Right.
a great analogy, Tina. And, we're coming up in many parts of the country with a real winter, so to speak. And dormant pruning is some of the most effective things to be doing, is when it's bitter cold or cold outside, to do the pruning while things are dormant. So,
And-
we're not going to wait for that. Yeah.
And the interesting thing of it is I've made more money in the last 2 years of COVID than I've ever made.
Yes.
So again, I love that scale thing, the products, the price, the number of sales, and then where my heart is,
Yes.
that has to drive everything.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
all
Beautiful. Yeah. And so, it begs the question of freedom business model. What ultimately does freedom mean to me? What does it look like? How will I know I have it? And, defining as we go into this next year, what really, really, really do I want in the way of my professional life, my business life? And, my values, spending more time with my beloved, being able to get out into nature and exercise, and but being, like you were saying, also efficiency, effectiveness, focusing in on the things that are profitable, generate revenue, and provide the most value. That's part of my thought process and my planning process. Kimberly, how about you? Your freedom business model, thoughts about where you're going with that? If it's important to you, which I think it is.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely part of this journey I'm going to go on with my coach and figure out, right? And I definitely know I want less hamster wheel and more Ferris wheel. I want more. This woman last night brought up this concept of closing the no versus do gap, which I kind of thought was kind of doing and being, or which wasn't at all what she meant. She said it's the things are good for you, and actually whether you actually do them, right? So it was kind of like, oh, kind of fascinating. And she used the word should, like, you should, but do you? And I'm like, I don't like should, it's like I know,
Absolutely.
I know I should exercise more. I know I should eat better. I know I should, have more time with, it's actually the things outside of my business is, I just have been really blessed, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's more around, is there noise in it that I don't need to be doing?
Brilliant.
And do I want to take that out? Because I think I already have a tremendous amount of freedom in my business, a tremendous amount of freedom, which is really cool.
Outstanding. Yes. And I so appreciate you bringing this up. It's the KNOW, no,
Right.
and the NO.
Right. Right. The no,
Yeah,
and
nice.
and closing the no and do gap, knowing and I'm not gonna say should, because I just don't like that. Knowing what's the right thing to do, and then actually doing it.
Beautiful. And which is I think a great definition of freedom too, is that. Yeah. And thinking about in the next year, that freedom, does it mean for each of us, something different, but is it I'm readying my business, my company to be acquired by someone else or another company? Is it my IP that I'd like to have acquired or put up for sale? Is it, what is it that I'm going for this year? And, looking at our calendar and our time as a tool, I'm spending more time. And that bookends idea that I love is looking every week as to getting further out and doing more planning from a strategic perspective. So some things to think about, again, looking at analytically where you've been. And then as we finish up here, where do you want to be in 12 months, a year from now? What would you like to have your revenue look like, your income, your, all of the numbers, but also, you can translate this into how much free time do I want? How much, exercise during the week? How much interaction with others? What are the metrics that are important to you? And I love just of really keeping it really simple is, what's the revenue that I'm bringing in? what are my expenses? And then ultimately, what's my profit? And some people use a profit first model, which flips it, around is in the next year, how much profit do I want to generate and expenses? And, what is the revenue that I need to generate to do that? So whichever model you use is quite fine, but, forward thinking about where you've been and then forward thinking about where you want to be in 12 months. Okay. And then with a forward focus, doing this exercise again is, what do I need to be doing? What are the top 4 things, top 3 things, whatever your number is on, achieving those goals. Okay. And, our time is so valuable. And, how can I have my time maximized for greater value for me and for others? Okay. So thoughts as I pause, and we're going to wrap up here in a moment, some thoughts so far about what you're thinking about for yourself in this next year. Anything, what is emerging? Mm-hmm.
It's not even so much for myself, Kathleen, but I think, in terms of what you're doing, if you were to create a retreat at the end of every year for the beginning of next year,
nice,
where people can actually do the work.
Yes.
Just the concepts. One of my greatest weaknesses is I don't think in numbers. I think in images, I think in future, I'm, visions, all that kind of stuff. So it was always the weakest part of trying to get the right help to really take these projections and, it's kind of like, I don't know how to project. I don't know how to do that. So I think that I do now. I have a better idea, but I think as an annual thing,
I agree with you.
To really create something where you send people out, you do the work, you come back at lunch, you send people out, you mastermind. It could really be an amazing business strategy thing for the women's leadership thing.
I love it. And I am inspired, and I love the idea, and I want to do it, and we will do it. That is really brilliant, because theory, this is a good broad brush, but to actually have the space and time and the capacity to do it, right?
The support.
Yeah.
I'm stuck. What do I do? How do I do this? How do I think about this?
Yes.
People that have the experience. Anyway, we could talk about it all.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have a whole idea.
Thank you. Great.
Put me in the oven and I get ideas pop. So
yeah, beautiful. And, and I take that fabulous and very important feedback and insight for the Women's Leadership Council. And I'm also curious for each of us is how can we have a ripple effect for our communities too, because our communities really need it from us. So I take that, and it's like, okay, let's get it on the calendar, get it activated. Yeah. Kimberly, any insights for you? We've just got a couple more slides and then we're done.
No, I love the breakdown of the, like taking that was actually what just made me decide to go into coaching, right? It was like, okay, if I want to make X, how many clients would I need? And, and it just seemed so doable at the time. And it just gave me the courage to leave public accounting and go. But I had to see, what was possible. And I remember going to my coach and saying, I don't need to make what I was making there, but but if I could make X, and he's like, that's my model. And I'm like, really? And he said, yep, it's X number of clients, and it's, 6-month programs, and it's at this price, and it's, and I was like, oh my God, that's so doable. I'm like, for work-life balance, like I'm in. So I've actually used that model with lots of people who've been thinking about going into coaching or thinking about starting their own business. It's like, what would it take? And does that feel doable to you? And it takes it from mystery to
concrete
action plan,
Absolutely. And I so appreciate that, Kimberly, because, you've got this beautiful financial mind, and so super good. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, the workbook's going to go through this with you. And, you know, and of course, I'm always available, you know, if you'd like to have a session and we can talk through it for you and specifics, you know, jump on my Calendly. I'm just calendly.com, HTTP, uh, Kathleen Caldwell, one word. That's me. I'm on Calendly. So yeah. Yeah. And as we finish, you know, I love this quote. I have this printed and all over my house. Love this Stephen Covey quote that the main thing is to keep the main thing, the main thing. Yeah. So, because it's amazing how the main thing can switch. If we allow distractions, we allow other things to come in, that becomes the main thing. So for each of you and for me and for everyone watching the replay, get really clear about what the main thing is for you and be sure to set your business up, your life up, your career up so that you keep the main thing, the main thing. Get in a sisterhood and get in support, get strategies, tactics, get a plan together and keep the main thing, the main thing. Okay. So we've discussed what's emerging for you. And, you know, as we finish up here, I am so clear, you know, for many of us, we've been in a cave, you know, the past 18 months, we've been in a cave and we're looking out, and now is the time. The world really needs you, needs your light. It's time to shine our light, ladies, shine it. Okay. And that beautiful shining reflects back to us. It becomes a symbiotic situation where we get to shine our light, make a difference, make an impact, but we also keep that light and the keep the vibe going, because, you know, one of my things is I only like good vibes. So just give me some good vibes only. Yeah, anything else is a distraction. Okay. Yep. And of course, in the Women's Leadership Council, we believe that the strength of the pack is in the wolf and the strength of the wolf is in the pack. So we invite all of you, if you're watching the replay, come join us. We as Wonder Women, you know, we need a council. She needed a council. We all need a council. So jump into the Women's Leadership Council. If you're a C-Suite Network member, just add the cherry on top of your sundae, become an official member. It's merely $499 for the whole year, or I think it works out to be, well, we do it monthly. If women want to have it monthly, we can do it monthly. Yep. So that's what we want. And of course, we have some very limited spaces available for esteemed faculty. We're pretty much filling out our esteemed faculty right now. We've got a couple spaces available, but if you have an interest, if you're watching the replay, you'd like to become esteemed faculty, we can have that conversation. Okay. Yep. So as we finish, biggest takeaway, ladies, loved having you here. My gosh, just loved having you here. The gift of your time, your space, your participation, loved every second. Yeah. Biggest takeaways. And we'll finish up.
So
Thank
very
you.
quickly, we did this in Thought Council, the word for the year.
Yes. Yes.
Sort of brought that up for me of a year of peace.
Nice.
So thriving, expanding, and I still want, but it's really is coming home and want to join a singing group and
Oh, nice.
do those fun
Nice.
things again. So,
Peace.
thanks, Kathleen.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tina. My peace be to you and your peace out to the world. Yeah. Peace. Love it. A piece of my peace. Yeah. Good. Thank you very much. Aho. Kimberly, how about you? Final takeaways? And you are muted, our dear friend.
Sorry, the yard people were here and the dogs were going
Okay.
ballistic.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I was just playing, as you were saying, you know, peace, I was thinking ease, and then I was trying to tie that to success. And I came up with, what about, I might have to trademark this. Like, how do we succeed?
Ooh, I love it. I
Right?
love it. Get after it, girl. Yeah, nice. Thank you.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
Write it down.
Yes. That's right. That's it. Activate that. Yes. So thank you, thank you, thank you. What a delightful, you're the highlight of my day. And I thank you for that. Thank you very much. And we have got a tremendous program in 2 weeks. Tara Clancy, we're going to be talking about wellness, wealth, sleep, restorative sleep, empowerment, energy. We've got a really nice program that we're developing, and that'll be in 2 weeks. And
What's
on
the date,
C-Suite,
Kathleen, if you could?
yeah, on C-Suite Networks Council Day. So that will be on the first Thursday. And as you know, we meet the first Thursday of every month, and then we meet on the third Thursday. So that will officially be, and I appreciate that question, Thursday, December 2nd,
You were talking about the,
1 p.m.
did the sleep person already come on? Did I miss one?
Nope.
Or is that she's coming on then?
Yeah. Tara Clancy on Thursday, December 2nd at 1 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
Definitely about that one.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Good. So with that, thank you. What a beautiful day, and blessings, peace, and succeed for you all of 6 C's. Love it.
Succeed.
Write it out.
Yeah.
SUCCEASE. Ooh, lovely.
Yes. Good.
Bye, y'all.
Blessings.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
day. Right.
Have a
Bye.
All
beautiful
right.
day.
Bye, you guys.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Great to be with you.
Great to be with you too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.